जीवन धारा जागे 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 अमर भावना जागे देश हमारा जागे 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 अमर भावना जागे देश हमारा जागे देश हमारा जागे देश हमारा। जय हिंद। जय हिंद। धन्यवाद। एक पल रुकते नहीं, ठान कर बैठे हैं वो, लक्ष्य पर उनकी नज़र धनुतान कर बैठे हैं वो। कामयाबी का सफ़र उनका कभी थमता नहीं, जो अडिग है जीत अपनी मान कर बैठे हैं वो। जी हाँ साथियों, मैं बात कर रही हूँ उन दिव्य प्रतिभा की जिनके आगमन से हमारा परिसर धन्य हो गया है। उनकी वीरता और आदर्श जीवन के बारे में जितना भी कहा जाए कम होगा, पर मैं अपनी लिखी कुछ पंक्तियों से उनके सम्मान में ज़रूर कुछ कहना चाहूँगी कि ये अनुगामी उन पावों के आदर्श लिए जो बढ़े चले, बाधाएं जिन्हें डिगा न सकी, जो संघर्षों में अड़े रहे। सर पे मंडराता काल रहा, सर पर मंडराता काल रहा, करवट लेता भूचाल रहा, पर भारत के इस वीर सपूत का सच्चे वीरों में नाम रहा। महावीर चक्र से सम्मानित श्री जगमोहन नाथ जी वो हमारे हैं। आज के शुभ दिन उनको सुनने हम सब तत्पर सारे हैं। आपकी जोरदार तालियों के बीच मैं बड़े आदर से हमारे मुख्य अतिथि श्री सम्माननीय विंग कमांडर जगमोहन नाथ जी को मंच पर आमंत्रित करती हूँ कि वे अपनी दिव्य वाणी से आज यहाँ चेतना का नया सवेरा कर दें। हमारे चेयरमैन, वाइस चेयरमैन, उनको आग्रह करूँगी कि वे उन्हें सम्मान से मंच पर लेकर आए। धन्यवाद।
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am totally speechless with the facilitation which you have accorded to me, and my throat, my voice is shaking, and my eyes are wet. I can tell you that, the way you have projected me at this point in time. And I have my heartiest thanks, not only to you all, but to the organizers and to the President, Mr. Pagalia, and also Mr. Agrawal. And I'm absolutely amazed at the setting which I see here. I never imagined it will be anything like this. And I feel the celebration which you are have accorded at this time will beat anything anywhere, even in Nariman Point, where the governor is now as the chief guest. So I think already everybody has been informed, they're well aware of the significance of the Republic Day. One has to look back to the history of how this event took place. And I was looking into the internet, and I was very keen to see how the Republic Day was formed on the 26th of January. In fact, earlier on it was a dominion at the time of our independence given to us by the British. That was on 15th of August, as you know, but it was still a dominion. It was not a republic. It became a republic much later. In fact, the first independence day was in 1930, which was announced by the Congress Party when, and it was with a lot of frustration that they had announced the Independence Day in 1950 itself, because when the Congress Party had asked the government to accord us the dominion status, which meant that we still would have the Queen on our head, but at the same time we will run our own show. But that was rejected by the British government because they felt that they put across that we will not be able to manage ourselves. And that upset the Congress, and particularly Pandit Nehru at that time and Subhash Bose. These two stalwarts are freedom fighters. They said that we will go in for a total independence and no dominion status. And that was on 24th of November. It was 29th, year was 1929. And at that time, they decided that we should declare our Independence Day on the following month, which was January, on the last Sunday. And that happened to be the 26th. And that is how the 26th January came into being. And subsequently, of course, lots have happened. And we have celebrated our independence, the Republic Day in many ways, many places, and particularly at our capital city, New Delhi, where there is as you are well aware, that a big ceremony takes place, which is totally fantastic, actually, with the Rashtrapatis commencing everything by laying the wreath at the Amar Jawan Jyoti, and subsequently, forgive me, I have a bad throat here. And at that time, it starts with the laying of the wreath, as you know, by the president. And what is most heartening is that the show actually starts by putting the armed forces in the front. And that itself is a matter of great satisfaction for me, particularly as it must be with you as well. The armed services have to be projected to our countrymen. And our countrymen are very receptive, because when you go around on the road, and I was driving down today, the little children, so many of them say, giving away our flag to everyone down the line. So the country is receptive where the armed services are concerned, and they give them a lot of regards and a lot of due. Unfortunately, the government has got lost in its own activity or their own priorities, but the armed services do definitely need to be projected. And I'm very glad in the manner in which you have done this, and I feel it should be a role model for the whole country. I could say something about our flag as well, but I think the flag, as you know, the Indian flag was originally started in 1906, and then it was repeated again in 1907. The colors kept changing from, first it was red on top and then green below, then it changed in the next year to other way around. And then again that was, I think it was Madam Kama who unfurled the Indian flag as designed at that time, and it was in Calcutta, as a place called Parsi Bagan Square, or the Green Park. That is when the first Indian flag was hoisted. And that was so many years ago, 1906. Then it was again repeated in 1907. And then subsequently we were given a home rule. And another flag came into being. And this flag was very unusual. And this was, numerous stripes were there, unlike the earlier one where we had only 3, green, white, and red or saffron. This was with the red and green stripes, and on top on the left-hand corner was the Union Jack. And that is how the flag was permitted, but because we accepted the home rule, it was by Annie Besant, and Annie Besant was the one who hurled that flag at that particular time, and that was in 1921. And then subsequently the flag was changed and it became the Congress flag with the spinning wheel right in the middle. And that was, earlier on it was red on top, and it was white in the middle and then green. And subsequently it was changed on 22nd of August and 47th. Oh, so my grandson tells me I have to tell you something about my own self. Well, I don't want to blow my trumpet. Apne gun nahi gaata main. But the accord which you, the facilitation which you have given to me, I feel, is because of the two Mahaveer Chakras which have come my way. I never imagined that I would get them. But the how I got them, I think it's a matter of luck to be in the right place at the right time. And I'm quite clear in my mind that where our armed services are concerned, every Jawan, every officer of the Air Force, Army and Navy, put them in the right place at the right time, like where I was, and they would be no less. They would all be Mahaveer Chakras at bar. I can tell you that. That is the pride and confidence I have in our armed services and our country. The first Mahaveer Chakra which I got, I was very fortunate. I happened to be the only one from the Air Force because the Air Force was not committed. The Chinese were playing up Helen to us. The government was complacent, and even the army was complacent at that point of time. And we had enough intelligence with us that the Chinese are knocking at our door and they mean business. But in spite of that, we became very complacent. And even though the government was approached that if you launch the Air Force now, the Chinese are all in the open ground of Aksai Chin and the other areas behind the Nifa. And the Air Force could pick up each and every soldier without any problem because they had no shelter where to hide, unlike if you are in the forest land. And Air Force would have been the right arm to be used at that time, and I am very confident that we would have had Aksai Chin with us today, and we would never had any problems in Nifa. Well, the first embassy that came my way, again very lucky, in 1962. Then came the 1965 Indo-Pak conflict of the war. And I was with a reconnaissance squadron. I was with them for almost 8 years. I was flying reconnaissance aeroplanes which took aerial photographs with telephoto lenses from the heights of even 45, 48,000 feet. They would be able to take pictures to such an extent that even a car number plate could be read in the photographs. So they imagined it was such sophisticated cameras we had with us. And we were taking reconnaissance photographs of wherever a threat developed. The army would never even plan anything or never even indulge in any activity across our borders without first having some intelligence. And you can imagine, which was absolutely natural, because without knowing what you are facing, you can't do anything in the right way. So my unit was involved in every armed activity or any threat we developed anywhere around the country. So I feel that Squadron 106 SR, Strategic Reconnaissance Squadron, did really a lot of wonders for the country. But it just so happened they were in the right place at the right time. In 65, before 65 itself, we were taking a lot of photographs of the border with Pakistan, starting from the north, from Kashmir, where the ceasefire line is there. And Pakistan at that time, they launched what they called the Operation Gibraltar. And the Operation Gibraltar was planned by, I believe, Mr. Bhutto was involved somewhere in it. And also it was by Ayub Khan himself and another general called General Malik. So between them they decided, and amazingly enough, they kept the Air Force Noor Khan totally out of picture. And they launched the Gibraltar with thousands of soldiers dressed up as Kashmiris, and they felt that once they get into Kashmir, the public is going to be with them, and which never happened, and it was a total failure. When that happened, then the next thing what they did was to start the operation, what they called Operation Grand Slam. And Operation Grand Slam was near Chamjori and Akhnur. They launched their tanks, because the tanks, Sialkot is very close to that part, and that's where the tank factories and so on there. So they put on the tanks there. And the army was still not ready, although we had been taking photographs and they had all the information, because I had been doing milk runs over the whole area during that time when Gibraltar operation was on. And they got totally surprised at that point of time, and the only way they could have any help was from the Air Force. So they asked the Indian Air Force to come and give them a hand, which the Air Force did a great job from Pathankot. And the aeroplane which were there were the elementary aeroplanes called Vampires, and they were not as advanced as they are